Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new episode of the Versatility Podcast. For today's episode, I'm going to be recapping the last couple weeks um, in sports. And so I'm going to be recapping all of that. Some music, also some musical topics to discuss. The Grammys were last weekend, last Sunday. I'm going to be showing you guys my on repeat playlist, talking about some albums that I'm going to be reacting to, still got to react to, that I'm currently reacting to now. Some that some that I'm going to be reacting to later tonight. But I want to say this before we officially start the podcast episode. This is hold on, give me 1 second. This is definitely a topic of conversation that is I don't want to really stay on this topic for very long at all because it only just gets worse the more I think about it and the more I talk about it. But because it's not an easy thing to talk about. But I do want to kind of get into a little bit on the Epstein files that were released within the last couple of weeks, released the last couple of days, and just my thoughts kind of summarized a bit. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, there are lows in life that I feel like I, it really gets to a point on where you start contemplating things of, man, life is so beautiful. There's so many things to appreciate in life, and there's so many things that make life worth living. And then the beauty is there, but it's so funny and it's so insane to me that in that same world we are able to see that light, and we see so much darkness at the same exact time, because when there's light somewhere, it's dark somewhere else. I'm not even going to show you, read out the things that are on the files. I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to be talking about it. Just my opinion. I'm not going to show you guys anything. I'm not going to read out any kind of things. I've been TikTok and a little bit of my own research of looking at some of the things in those files. Like, it is truly some absurd, absurd, disgusting, pitiful, degrading, dehumanizing things that, like, I've ever had to come across, that I've ever had to think. Some of these things, I feel like I don't know how people like this get to. I don't know how people at those statues of fame and wealth, people that have so much power, have so much wealth, and are able to change the world in a positive way, are able to do things so fucking disgusting and malicious to children, to men, to other women, victims. Like, it's sickening. It's really fucking terrible how this is all being, given to us. This evidence is coming out every other day. Every day it feels like there's just more. There's millions of things to look at right now. Like, there's endless amounts of people in these files. So tons of celebrities, tons of people that I won't get into that, because who knows who played a bigger part than others. There's a bunch of celebrities names. I doubt that all of them that are on the list have a huge, impact on what was really going on and all the things that were happening in that island and this and that. But your name is there, your reputation, your it's like, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to defend anybody at that point. If your name is there, it's never a good look on you, you know Just Michael Jackson's in that fucking, Epstein list. Am I gonna really be the one to say here Michael Jackson's the worst piece of shit ever? Maybe not. But not a good look on Michael Jackson, not a good look on anybody whose names appear on those lists. Depending, it doesn't matter how much you like their music or their movies. That it's hard to kind of look past that, but that's not the most important part. I could give less of a fuck who's on the list because there's things that are going on that are inhumane, that is just disgusting, and I feel like it makes you think: is it worth having all that power, and is it worth having all that money? Because I think for all of us, everyone's goal is to become rich. Everyone wants to become rich. Everybody wants to, you know, have a lot of money. And that's a fair statement. That's a fair assessment and a fair drive for life. You need money to survive. You need money to operate. That's how things operate in this world. You need a lot of it. And of course, money can buy you a certain level of happiness. And my God, is it useful? Obviously. But it gets to a point where people start chasing this, they start chasing this mentality of the more money they get, the more power they get, the more they start separating from everybody, and they start going to levels that more people, the higher they go, the less people are just there on the ground. To these billionaires, what are we? We are literally ants. We're ants to billionaires. To me, all the way to a fucking Bill Gates, what am I? An ant to step on. A fucking anthill that was built by a family or a ginormous group of ants just getting destroyed. All that work that they put in to make that little anthill, or big anthill in their case, that's what they are to us. They're these fucking Attack on Titan titans. They're these giants that just hover over us and think that they're better than everybody because they have all this power, because they have all this fame, and they can get away whatever the fuck they want. They can get away with literally anything. You mean to tell me that the president of the United States, who, if you just ignore everything that all the controversies, all the felonies, all everything that he's already been charged for, all the things that he's already been accused of, more of that piles on, and yet he's still the leader of this country. He still represents this country. He's still the one that has to make all the big decisions leading forward to this country until it's his time to go. There are people in that predicament. The government always hiding so many things that we don't know, and we're trying to hide this and keeping quiet about all the shit about the Epstein files and this and that. Well, it's always a good thing to know that all good things, because to them this was a marvelous time for them. So for them, this was a period of time of, well, oh man, all good things come to an end. That's how they see it. Because no, the fun is over. They can't be doing shit like this anymore. Because now all of you guys are getting fucking exposed one by one. But it doesn't really matter at this point because they're getting all these people, all these names. Nothing's happening. No one's getting arrested. No one's taking accountability. Nobody is facing life in jail. No one is getting the death penalty. No one is getting a certain amount of years in maximum security prison. No one is getting some sort of probate. There's no accountability with these people because, again, they're all of one ginormous rich pieces of shit family that defend each other. That if they were to kill their own family, they would defend each other. There wouldn't be no justice for the other people on the other side. Because it's fuck your justice. To them, our justice is nothing. Because what is that going to do for them? Make them be the bad guys. They don't want to see it that way. They think they're better than us. So why would they want to make us look why do they want to make us look great? Why do they want to make us with the one that have all this power and all the things and say? And let me tell you this. I think and I want to say this. All the people that are, like I think I might have to post this on TikTok as well. I mean, there's so many things that I refuse to talk about when it comes, anything political, because it's always a topic of conversation that always ends up in this loop that never it's just always falls in a cycle of, well, what can I really do besides speaking on it? What else can I really do? Because I feel like I have to act like reading some of these things in these files, it makes you feel like, bro, I have to, like, what do I have to do? Do I have to fucking be do I have to be Superman? And like, do I have to fight all these fucking people? Do I have to arrest all these people myself? Do I have to fucking bomb an island? What do I have to do? I feel like I have to be the one to take the initiative to just destroy shit, to be malicious. Because God forbid, man, I'm sorry. I read some of these things and I picture myself being in that yacht and I see kids getting slaughtered, kids getting eaten. God forbid I see a weapon. I'm killing everybody, man. Like, this is ridiculous. People get caught doing this. People get to hide. People get to hide this information for so long. Eventually it's going to come out. It's these these type of news, right? These kind of moments in life where what is the point of having this kind of I don't think anyone's focus should be, how do I say this? I mean, I'm generally speechless, man. I mean, there's so much that we can do, and obviously, again, we don't have the power to we can't outpower the people that are already in the that already have more power than us, but saying something, speaking about it, definitely gives us a voice. We all have a platform. We all can use our platform, use our social media to speak out on things like this and everything that's every other bullshit that's going on around the world, but these are the type of moments where people need to get together and we all have to make something happen so that changes are made, where people are held accountable, where it doesn't matter if you are up billions, it doesn't matter how much power you have. That power can be taken away from you if you abuse it. And they've done more than abuse that power. They've abused people. They've abused people that are, well, what are they? Just victims. Because yet again, children, victims. What can you can't make an excuse for a child. What's the excuse? They're children. Why the fuck are they in an island? Why do they deserve to get fucking executed by rich pieces of shit? Why do they have to suffer? They have to suffer so they can make so they can pleasure the things that I've read, that the president and other people have been involved. This is one thing I can read out and just to discuss, just to I've taken two screenshots. And I think this is all that I could really say. I can really speak on how disgusting things are. These are probably two of the worst things that I've read about it. One screenshot says here, okay, this is from August 28th, 2019 at 1:08 p.m. An email that was sent from somebody, and it said that the subject was like an interview of an Epstein victim. And then it's saying thanks to somebody, their name is bleeped out, and then with the rest of the message saying, I didn't realize Bush raped him too. Okay. And then following that, this was a reply to a another email that was sent just 20 minutes prior to the one I just read. And this says, I like to point out a few other things disclosed by the um per for the victim. I don't know how to read that. For the victim. By the victim, excuse me. By but victim. Okay. While he was on this yacht, he witnessed African American males having sex with white blonde females, all of whom were bleeding during intercourse. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which feet were cut in a symmetrical but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. Picture yourself being in that yacht and you see that going on. What would you do? The closest thing to a weapon that is going into someone's heart, that is going to someone's brain, that is going, that is that I'm just saying, man, God forbid, like it still wouldn't be enough to kill them right after. Like, it would feel like some sort of sigh of relief. But unfortunately, the person that they were, you know, eating was already deceased, and we can't take that person back. That child is already, unfortunately, not living, and it just feels like this very. It doesn't have enough justice. It doesn't feel like we have enough to say in that killing them is not enough, because that's not going to bring the person that they were just. God. And then they also pointed out that, yeah, again, he he was also raped by George Bush one. So another former president getting involved in things like this. And then this one was just another one that isn't shocking, knowing of our president's history with sexual assault and all this kinds of stuff and rape and all that shit. But here's another piece of evidence, and but that's not gonna fucking matter, because that's not good enough to keep him out of the office. That's not good enough for him to get killed or whatever. No, that's not enough for him to get any kind of ramification. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in, and Trump would auction them off. He's auctioning off children. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. Did you just hear what I did? You heard what I said, right? I'm not making this up. Do you heard exactly what I just said? The guests were elder men, fucking obviously were elder men, and included Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump. All of his fucking children were there with him. Attorney Alan D. Schwartzitz was also there with attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. If you didn't want to contemplate killing somebody, if you didn't want to contemplate killing any of these people, if you didn't have the urge to throw up, if you didn't have the urge to scream, to I think honestly, I think we're not. I don't think I don't think I'm pissed enough. I don't think I'm pissed enough reading shit like this. Like I feel like I have to break something. Like I have to. I cannot imagine the level of anger and frustration. Like just put yourself in their shoes. The level of frustration, I can never relate to it to the person that's involved in this, to the victims. You can only imagine their frustration and what they went through. It's unfucking believable, man. It is disgusting how the world can let you can have the whole world in the palm of your hands with that level of money, with that level of power and fame, and repercussions are not taken care of because the people in also higher positions are going to not hold you accountable. They're going to defend you. They're going to side with you because they don't have enough people in their support group if they were to lose somebody for for suffering their own fucking consequences for them doing shit like this. And if one piece of the domino falls, everyone else fucking gets it. And I know that this is not something like new to the world. Like I know, torturing and doing and cannibalism and doing all this shit like this. This has been a thing since the beginning of fucking time. Like people have been getting tortured and people have been getting, you know, dehumanized and this and that. But like it's 2026 and we're this is still something. It's just ridiculous to me that racism, that gender wars and this fight for inequality, that people are getting eaten, people are pedophiles, people are all of these type of things like have been going on for such a long time. And what in the next 100 years, the next 1,000 years, the same families, but just many more generations going on forward, have to endure the same thing. When is there going to be a change on how people see? And obviously I don't understand. I don't have the answers. I don't fucking think like these fucking pieces of shits. I obviously can never understand how you get to that level of fame and you start doing you just get bored. It's not enough to just have just to have intercourse with the woman or with the man, or a threesome or four, whatever. It's never enough to just do simple shit. You're not an ordinary person, so you don't want to just do ordinary things. You don't want to just have sex with fucking one woman or two or three, or you don't want to have sex with five guys and five women. No, you want to fucking involve children. You want to belittle them. You want to fucking eat them. You want to remove their fucking organs out of their bodies. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And I would expect this shit in many other countries, in third world countries. And we're talking about the United States. We're talking about this island suffering, around I think the Virgin Islands, where is that? Around the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, wherever the fuck this bitch ass island is at. Other countries are going through their own thing as well, corruption and the same shit, if not at a worse case. And I can only imagine this is the United States being evolved. This is the country that's so great doing all this kinds of shit. Where there are people in the Middle East, in Africa, that are going through the same shit on a much smaller scale, but we there's a reputation for things like that that's happened in other Asian countries. Like, it is a sick, disgusting fucking world that we live in, man. It is such a awful fucking world that we live in. It's hard to find the light when you just see a world full of darkness. It like, when you get to experience the beauty of life, you really have to take it in with you, because you have to admire those moments. You have to appreciate every little thing that you fucking have. And I mean literally everything. You waking up in the morning just to fucking brush your teeth is better than what most people are fucking going through every day. You taking a shit in your bathroom is doing better than what most people are having to fucking go through. And they don't have a choice to make changes about it. Some people just don't have options. They just have to stick with it. They get stuck. And they are forced to do things they don't want to do. All these fucking children, their mindsets, they're 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids. They have their childhood. They have an entire childhood to experience. They have adolescence to go through. They have adulthood to go through. They have an entire fucking life ahead of them. And these fucking pieces of shit are taking them in and are using them for entertainment, for entertainment, for pleasure, for guys. It's hard, man. It's hard. And I wish that I wish that all these I wish that in a perfect world, man, everyone takes accountability. In a perfect world, everybody makes their mistakes and they suffer the consequences. In a perfect world, everyone is able to grow and change for the better. In a perfect world, I wish that there could be changes that could be immediate and could make the difference for the future. But we don't live in a perfect world, and we never have. We've never have lived in a perfect world. We were never. That's why life is so special, man. And that's why life is worth living. That's why life is worth living, and going through the ups and downs is only the it's gonna be the part that shows you who you really are as a person. Because anyone can go through life with all these ups, but if there aren't any situations that put you down, that try to affect you, that will affect loved ones, that will affect friends, whoever, and they have to put you in a deficit, it's your responsibility to see how you react to those situations. And we're not always going to make the we're not always going to make the right decision. We're human beings. We're going to make all these mistakes, and the best thing is for us to learn and adapt, and just we know, hey, we fucked up. We know we can't do that again. But it's beyond just making a mistake. Like, it's just the level of mentality. It's the psycho it's this psychology in these people's mind. I don't know what's their mentality. Obviously, I can't answer what's always on their mind, or what are those things that get them going. We see all these examples, and we get an idea of who these fucking awful people are. And it's ridiculous that the world is run by corrupted people with a lot of money that have no empathy, no sympathy for people who work through everyday life with much less resources, but they want to make a better effort that the world is. How is it that most people wake up in the morning, go to work, whether you love what you do or going to school, whatever it is, they're making an impact for their life. They're making decisions every single day that's guiding them in a good direction, in a bad direction, and they're doing better for the world. A lot of people, whether they realize it or not, sometimes you don't even realize that you're doing more good to the world, because we just see those things as little things. You complimenting somebody, just saying, "Oh, I really like how you did your hair. You know, your hair looks really nice," or whatever. It's a very small thing, and we don't really tend to pay attention much about it. Obviously, there's so much hatred in this world, and we need more love, because that's another thing that it just blinds us. People just want to be getting fed all this fucking hatred, and just want to be just throwing shit at other people for the same reasons. And we don't appreciate the little things enough. And again, that's me included. There's a lot of things that I feel like I take for granted that I don't appreciate enough. And I mean, and in this case scenario, of course, I have to think selfishly, because obviously I'm fucking beyond grateful that I'm not in this predicament, that I'm not a victim, that no one in my family or nobody close to me, or they don't have to worry about this. This is just something that they read on the news and see on social media, and would have to just feel for them, but only imagine those who are affected by this. What's your pursuit in life? How do you wake up in the morning? What's your first thought? How do you sleep at night? How do you what's your goal? What's your drive after going through experiences like that? And especially when these people are these families, like it's been years since these a lot of these situations instances happened years ago, and there's still family members that have passed thinking, oh, they were gonna find justice. There's family members still living right now, still trying to find fucking justice for what happened to their son, for what happened to their daughter. There's people still having to live through that every single day. Every single day. And they're still fighting to find a reason why they shouldn't just end their own life. Because it's just easy to just give up at that point. When obviously that's not the way to go out. But for these kinds of people, can you blame them for thinking of ending their life? Absolutely not. I can't blame them. If I was them, absolutely. The amount of things I would think about and contemplate if I was in their situation, if I was in their predicament, only imagine what my mind would be thinking about constantly every single day. And trust, guys, you cannot trust anybody, man. You cannot. It is unbelievably difficult to really find somebody. Honestly, for me, it got to a point where I honestly can't feel like I can trust somebody 100%. I can trust 80%, 90%. I can tell there's many people in my life that I can tell a lot of things to, but there's a lot of things that I keep to myself. And maybe because I don't want to say those certain things, because maybe I think they'll give me a certain answer that I don't want, or not even just that, just maybe they'll look at me different, or there's certain things that I just want to keep to myself. There's certain just things I don't want to say. Am I really obligated to say everything that's in my mind? I could take certain things to the grave. I don't have to say everything to everyone or to somebody. But you got to know when to let go as well. You can't just bottle things in as well. You can't just not say anything to anybody. That's not going to do anything as well. So yeah, guys, I mean, so much bullshit, man. So much bullshit in this world every day, man. It's so easy to just find fucking idiots, to find people that are just I mean, just to point out, just to say it, but you're just useless, or just utter fucking useless people walking around in this world. Useless people driving the nicest cars. Useless people living in the biggest of fucking mansions, having their own fucking private island, as if that's something that a regular person can just fucking do and own and possess. And while there's fucking people living in the streets, homeless people that can't even get a certain amount of attention from most, because we're busy doing our own things, and also homeless people don't always get the good rep. We try to help out, and some of them are think that they have this kind of edge over you, and think, oh no, it's not good enough, or whatever the case is. People's egos are so high, and they don't sympathize for others. They don't see that they don't fucking live in a world where it's just them. And the money and the power and all that success, yes, you contribute to that, but you need people to help you get to the top. No one just gets to the top by themselves. You need people around you to make that happen. But they don't fucking remember that. They don't realize that. Or when they do, it's the same people that are them helping them, the same people that are out here doing the same shit that they're fucking doing. Because then they become a part of the higher power and all the people above. And they think they fucking own everything. And they can do whatever the fuck they want. So ultimately, how I can end this, like what to finalize this. I've been talking for over 40 minutes over this. Like I don't even think I'm gonna get to talk about everything else on the podcast. But just simply live life to the fullest. Everything that you do, every mistake that you make, every proud moment, every moment in life that you're able to achieve something, you accomplish a goal, that you're able to conquer something that you've worked your ass off for, or for others. Always appreciate those moments, always cherish it, always find that light. Always find that light. Always use that positivity to guide you through all this fucking negativity and all the bullshit that we constantly see. Because in the end of the day, realistically, we live in a world where yes, it's always gonna happen. Me saying all of this, talking for 40 minutes, is not gonna just create world peace. People are still gonna get murdered. People are unfortunately still are gonna get eaten up and fucking getting their feet and their legs chopped off. Like people are still gonna do the most malicious, disgusting fucking things in the world. That's unfortunately still gonna happen, and we all and a lot of us wish, and I hope and I wish that at one point we can all say that we all want the same thing. But in this case, obviously, most of us want change. Most of us want things to fucking change for the better and to evolve. Figure out what other problems we have to fix. The world can never be at peace because it's always going to be there's always going to be two sides, three sides, four sides. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own, you know, I mean, where do you even go? Where do you even go? You just have to like like things like this. It's hard to just. It's just easier to stay in your own lane. It's just easier to focus on your life. It's just easier to just, look. In the end of the day, we can pause for a moment from our own life and reflect and think about what the hell is going on in the outside world, and you know and see what other people are doing with their life. And no, we have our own life, we make our own decisions, the good, the bad, and we have to live through it. We have to live through it, and we have to just be better people, man. We have to be more positive. We have to see things. We have to be more empathetic. People are losing empathy for others. People just think about themselves way too fucking much. People don't put themselves in other people's shoes. Why is it that almost every time I hear about these terrifying, this is something about me, like every time I watch like a documentary, like I just finished watching the Diddy documentary, and like I'm always constantly picturing, if I was there, what would I do? And a lot of it would be really bad things because it would infuriate me. But just to think, if I put myself just being a bystander there, or being if I was the victim in that situation, what would I do? How can I get away from this? How can I find justice from this? How can I make sure that the fucking the perpetrator gets to suffer the consequences? Like I'm always thinking, I always put myself in other people's shoes just to escape what my opinion is, just for a quick second, and see how it would look for the person that is having to suffer through it. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be that person. So we shouldn't think too much on ourselves, and we just need to be better at, again, we need to be more positive. Definitely that's just easy. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to be negative, but it's also easy to be positive. So the 50-50's there. It's really up to you, but obviously you spread peace, spread love, spread positivity, man, because life is already going to throw you curveballs. It's already going to throw you fucking, like, I feel like, what is the point of just spreading? There's just so many things that I question, like, what is the point of spreading negativity? Negativity is going to come to you anyways. People are always going to say something about you. People are always going to have certain opinions about you, and you're not always going to like it. Anyways, fucking, we move on. It is what it is. We don't have to fucking fight over it. We don't have to go to war over it. Life is already going to throw you shit. A lot of people have it worse than others. For me, I am grateful, beyond fucking grateful, that yes, I've had my days. Yes, I've had my moments where I've had my days where it's rough. Hell no. I'm fucking crying. I'm yelling. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. I'm crashing out, all this kinds of shit. And and I get to, and and of course, as a human being, I get to be able to express myself and to let it all out, let it all go, not to bottle things in. Let my emotions flow out. And then there's people having to go through things like this. And then I put myself in their shoes again. And then it's like, they're unfortunately, people are doing this. Unfortunately, people are getting involved in situations like this. Unfortunately, there are children getting treated like this. You just have to separate yourself sometimes and see what other people are going through, and see how, when you have empathy and you try to think positively over the negative most of the time, you know and look, it's obviously very difficult. It's also not easy to just maintain a certain level of positivity. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the most positive person in the world either. You know what I mean? I am not an asshole. I don't want to. I That's not how I perceive myself. I don't try to be an asshole on purpose. You know, that's not my intentions are not to hurt people. My intentions are not to be. I'm a very I'm a person that, I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I don't want someone coming up to me yelling. I don't want someone coming up to me being disrespectful, saying certain things, trying to be slick, because that's not something that I'm going to do. And even in situations, even at work, little things like that. There's people that kind of want to talk to you in a certain way, and I'm just not going to let it continue. I'm not going to let it roll. I'm not going to let that change who I really want to present myself as, because that's not who I am. Man, it's yeah. I mean, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. It's beyond disturbing. It's disgusting. It's every bad every adjective that describes something bad, disgusting, gross. That is what this is like. And it's, it's not just here, man. All around the world, everyone everywhere has their own issues. Everywhere, every place that we glorify, they have their fucking issues as well. Japan, China. We can appreciate so many things, about their culture, about their country, about their infrastructure, about so many things, about their food, this and that, and they have a dark side in their history. And there's so much fucked up shit behind every place. There's a history behind it. There's so much shit that we know that we don't know. Yeah, so all I can say is, just try to be more positive. If you're already a very positive person, try to, continue, stay that way. Continue with that. Be more empathetic. Again, treat people how you want to be treated. Don't let social media, don't let certain people's opinions have this like effect on you. You know what I mean? You can take someone's opinion and respect it, and not let it get to you where it has to boil your blood, or it has to turn into this altercation, or it has to turn into something beyond what it was before, just a simple argument or a debate. Then it becomes personal. Like, no, it doesn't have to get to that point. And again, like, I'm talking obviously to, to us, not to these fucking pieces of shit rich assholes. We can never understand them. We will never understand. I can't speak for them. You can't speak for them either. They are. We can only hope. We can only hope that at some point karma is gonna come and fucking destroy them. We can only hope, man. But in those situations, it's just, and the world needs to get together more. I feel like the world just, we need to be like us. We need to have like this fight in us, man. We need to show that we have this fight in us, that we can all be on our side for each other, because this is fucking humanity. What do you mean that a lot of people in this country, or a lot of people in this world, are for doing shit to children? You mean to tell me that there's so many people that want this to continue, that don't see any kind of effect, that they see human beings as just, that they're literally animals. Like, they like they're fucking animals, and they're just prey. That children are just literally prey to them. That they're not also human beings that are developing, and that are gonna be adults and teenagers at some point in their fucking life, and be a one of us. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Ah, man. All right. I think I've pretty much said everything that I had to say. I mean, I've been talking about it for almost an hour. At this point, this episode is just about the thing. You know what, guys? I think I'm just gonna let this be as an episode about this situation. I mean, I really don't want to talk more about it. There's so much that you can find on the internet. If you want to do your research and, find more disgusting things, unfortunately, it's there in the palm of your hands. Google. If you want to read all the files that they've, all the emails that were sent, and photos, and all the disturbing dark web shit that you see, like, it's there. It's there for you to look at and feel like this world is fucking slowly falling apart, man. This world is falling apart. And as much as this is really dark and but also kind of like a great ending, sometimes it's like, man, why can a fucking meteor just destroy us already? Like why can the sun just explode and we all die? So that every good, every bad person gets to just get a restart in the afterlife. Like, I don't know. Like at this point, I don't know. Things like situations like this, it's like what's the point of having this fight when we don't know if there will ever be change for the right people or for justice for the right people. Yeah, man. It's really unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate, dude. It really is. It really is. It's sickening. It's beyond sickening how people think like that. How people think of doing shit like that to other people. Obviously, I can't fucking relate. I can't understand it. I see a lot of good in a human being. As much as we are human beings and we're very complex, and I sympathize for a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that maybe I shouldn't sympathize for, and I do because I believe that there's a lot of good in us. But for me to really not not have any kind of sympathy for you or any kind of remorse, any kind of way of thinking that you're gonna evolve, you're gonna mature, you're gonna change, things will be, this is not of an immature thing. This is an abuse of power, an abuse of humanity, an abuse of just simply, oh, keep it going. I'm not gonna get caught. And if I get caught, what are you gonna do? Arrest me? That's not gonna happen. You would think it's just as simple as that. You get caught in the act, you get caught, you're found guilty for certain things. Diddy got a slap on the wrist. Diddy should be serving life in prison, but he's not. He's serving what, 50 months? Ow. That's it. That's the damage that was done. And Epstein, well, whatever. I mean, he's gone. He fucking killed himself. And there's people fucking saying that he might be still be alive now. I mean, I don't know. That's another fucking conspiracy theory that he might be still hovering around this fucking earth. Oh my goodness, man! I can't believe, man. I actually talked about this for an hour, but I just had to like let all of it out. I had to vent. I had to vent to you guys. I had to, this is not something that I talk about. Obviously, this is not something that I stay away from. I'm one of those people that doesn't get involved in this, and I tend to ignore it, and I try to just. I know that there's every day there's bullshit, so I just try to avoid seeing more of it. You know, but you have to speak out on certain things. You have a voice. I have a platform. I have social media. I can talk to people, and that word can go to other people, and that word can be something more than just something you said to that person. It can be a movement. It can be a stand. It can be a protest to fight for justice. Like, your words are very powerful, and you choose wisely on what you say and how you act on certain things, and it's very important to stand up, man. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for what's right and what's wrong. Because for what's wrong, things are always going to continuously to go wrong, but we have to fight for the better. And it doesn't matter if it feels hopeless. It doesn't matter if we just give up because it's easy to just be like, well, fuck it. We're fighting for what? Justice, but then when is that justice going to ever get served? Does that even exist for certain people? There's many people in this world that believe that justice isn't even enough. And sometimes it isn't. Because justice is just the end result, the happy ending, but you can't bring that person back. The incident doesn't just go away, it doesn't erase. That incident will always stay. That moment will always stick. That person will be deceased forever. And his spirit or her spirit, and it goes somewhere else. Like accountability, man. We all need to have, we all need to learn that. We all need to have that in ourselves, have that for others, that for loved ones, for good. It's not enough just loving someone. You can love someone, but you can hurt them at the same time. Holding accountability and loving someone, there's nothing better than that because they're going to hold you down when times are rough, but they're going to be honest with you. They're going to be there to give you criticism, but they want you to be better. They want things to change. They want evolution to be made. And that's that. Like life is beautiful, man. When you get to see the beauty in life, you really have to take it all in. You have to take it all in. And those are the moments that you are worth living for. Spending time with loved ones, being married, I don't know, doing your job, doing what you love to do, your career, your job, you're going to school, getting educated, being able to do things that make you feel comfortable, that make you feel powerful, that make you feel like you have a purpose in this world. And I have that's something that I kind of have with myself. Like sometimes I feel like, what is my purpose in this world? And sometimes I don't know how to answer that question. There's certain things that I would like to achieve, and there's certain things that maybe I don't have the work ethic, or I don't have the discipline to get to it. And those are things that I have to work on. And that's a part of being accountable. Like, and that's something that I just have to work on for myself. And I don't know if you guys relate to that as well. Like maybe there are people, maybe in college or just graduated high school or in their 20s that, and they're trying to figure out life and seeing like, hey, is what I'm doing, do I serve a purpose in this world? Do I have a reason why I can contribute something good to this world? And I feel like I do. Maybe it's not something related to, maybe I don't see it in the way that it's something so grandiose, or it's something that makes me, I don't know, have like this kind of, I don't know, not even power, just simply like makes me feel like, oh, special, that I have like this kind of control, that I know that I'm able to, that I know that my purpose is this and that, or just simply this. But I help people. That's my job. I work at a school. I help students, work on their, practicing their English. I every day, every Monday to Friday, that's what I do. And whether some days I feel like maybe I wasn't helpful enough, I try to be more helpful the next day. or maybe where I feel like maybe that isn't enough for me to feel like I have a purpose in life. Maybe that's something I just need to realize and focus on myself. Maybe that's something that I need to, talk to somebody. And shit, I've never done therapy, but I've kind of been thinking, shit, it's I don't blame it. Like if everyone was just like, let's just take therapy at the same time after seeing everything going on, like I don't blame you. I don't blame you, man. Like sometimes I feel like there's so much things that I can let go and just talk to somebody about these kind of things and more in depth, because sometimes I don't really want to talk about it because it just gets me, it becomes this, I said, literally I said in the beginning of the episode, like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it for very long. Here, an hour and 5 minutes later, like, but these kind of conversations, they're tough to have, but they're necessary, man. They're necessary. Not every day you're going to be having the regular, oh, how's your day, man? Your day was good? Every day not going to be like that. Not every day going to be good. Not every day is going to be the same shit. Oh, it's fine. It was a good day. It was all right. This and that. And this week, like, it's been kind of a week where I've been thinking a lot to myself. What am I gonna do with my life? Do I really want to continue doing what I'm doing right now? Do I want to change careers? You know I'm planning to go back to school in the fall. But there's still a lot of things that I have to get done. Me personally, with the driving, I'm 22 fucking years old, and I am way behind the curve of driving here in Miami, and it's a necessity. I can't go anywhere without fucking driving anywhere. So I can't always rely on mom. I'm a grown ass man. I can't always rely on mom to take me everywhere, or Uber. Like that, I need to take initiatives in my own hands. And that's been one of my biggest resolutions for the year, and in general life. For the rest of my life is to be more independent, to be independent, and figure things out more on my own. And again, of course, when I need help, I have my mom with me. So it's, when I need the help, I will ask for it. But like there's just things like that I have to work on, things that I have to work on every day, and it's always that kind of battle in my mind of like, am I doing enough good? You know, I feel like I am. I mean, I'm not doing anything close as bad to what these fucking pathetic people are doing. So I see myself better than them in that situation. Obviously not financially, and obviously not by my platform or by my voice. They see me as just a little fucking ant that they could just step over. But to them, I see them as these fucking pieces of shit monsters. So why would I care? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I could give less of a fuck about them. Why would I? Why would I care? Especially when they don't give a fuck about you, when they don't give a fuck about me. So just be grateful, have sympathy for people, for those who deserve the sympathy, because I know the people that we talked about here, they don't deserve any of that. They don't deserve any of that. They've chosen to they choose to not have that for others. So why the fuck do we have to give it to them? You know, hold yourself accountable, hold other people accountable, and not make it seem like it's a bad thing. Why is it a bad thing to have accountability on yourself or to others? It's not always supposed to be criticism, and it's not always supposed to be hate. It's supposed to be growth. It's for you. You want to be better, right? So don't fucking do this. Simple as that. Simple as that. Like, And yeah, it's easier said than done. It is easier said than done, but actions speak louder than words. So if you can make it happen, make it happen. Don't just say it, make it. You know. Well, I mean, that's pretty much that, man, guys. That's pretty much it. Like, there's really not much I can talk about there. I don't have to go more in depth with. No, I don't want to. I don't want to drive myself insane. I don't want to like not sleep tonight. It's rough. And yeah, and thank you to everybody that's speaking out on this and voicing their opinions and their frustrations and all that, because well, that's what we got social media for. It's not Social media is not only just about fucking memes and just hating on people that we don't fucking even know and having parasocial relationships with people that we don't know. Like, we got to use social media for our advantage, for the good, for us to speak on certain things, because a lot of us like to hide certain things and just not speak on things or stay in our own lane, like, oh, I talk about sports and music. That's my thing. I don't be going into anything else other than that. But when push comes to shove, like, you need to take action. You need to say what's on your mind, because again, me saying this could affect someone in a good way, and will have to affect someone in a good way, because I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not saying anything outlandish to most. Maybe to these fucking pathetic assholes above us. They think I'm the dumbest piece of shit ever, but oh well. I'm not the one doing what they're doing. I'm just a guy, 22 years old, living my own life, trying to make things work and see what works, what doesn't work, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Really. Still figuring out day to day. Making videos on YouTube for fun, you podcast, this and that, being able to balance work and going back to school at some point, and my hobbies and this and that. But when you step outside and you escape your little bubble, you see everything. You see all of this coming out. You see everything else going on, and it's just, yeah. But yeah, I hope with this like episode I could just reach out to people and say that you matter. You matter. You matter. You are appreciated. And if people don't tell you that they appreciate you, then I will. I don't need to know you, because there's something that I can see from you that needs to be appreciated. Whether it's your work ethic, whether it's your positivity, whether it's whatever it is. Like, there's something that we can admire from you. There's something there, because I believe in people. I believe that there are a lot of good people in this world. I do believe that. As much as it's hard to see it, and as much as it's we get in this negativity bubble, we're all, man, fuck everybody, everyone's a fucking asshole, everyone's a pedophile, everyone's a rapist, everyone's racist, everyone has an ego, everyone has this self-esteem, you know they have these fucking they're contradicting people. They like to just, we have this, people act like they're entitled, all this, all that. There are people that just want change, and that want better for the world, and that's me. Neither of us are perfect. Nobody is. I will never be. I never was, and I am not currently perfect. But we don't live in a perfect world, so why do we have to live up to those standards? Why do we have to live up to those standards? We don't. Fuck being perfect. Being imperfect is what we are, because we're fucking human beings. We make mistakes and we learn from it and we grow and we try to make things better than what we had it before. That's that, y'all. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Um, I'm gonna upload this on YouTube probably tomorrow. I don't want to wait too much time on this to upload it. And whoever sees this video, I don't know if you're gonna watch the entire episode, this and that. You don't have to. It's okay. I hope this goes to someone and someone kind of takes inspiration to speak out on this and to voice their opinion, because it's a very disgusting acts things. There's so much going on that it's just, yeah. But we must still have faith, we must still have hope, because if we lose that, then we're all gonna lose. We're all gonna just be a part of the problem, because if we just give up, then the other people, if we just surrender, they win. They win yet again. And are we going to let them take that away from us? From what they've already taken from others, what they've already abused people, when they've already done malicious shit, we're going to just let them win? No. It's not how it is. It's not how that shit works. It's not how that shit works. You can do it for so long, and they have, but it's all good things, I put this in quotations, all good things come to an end. So this shit's gonna fucking stop. And everybody that was involved, partaking in these acts of fucking terror and horror and disgusting shit, the worst, the worst is coming for you. And that even once death arrives, it's still going to affect you even afterwards. So that's that. I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace out, my friends.